Hey guys, Dan here, DE Speed Shop. As always, work in the garage. Actually, we're in the old shop. I'm feeling nostalgic in here. So I've done a pile of cleaning up. I put a bunch of new lighting up in here. Unfortunately, getting ready for winter and deciding what's staying and what's going. Which brings us to this fine Opel. As I was cleaning up, it kept getting in the way and I kept tripping on it and stuff. So I think we have to ultimately discuss the end of this thing, where it's going to be, what we're going to do with it. So that's what we're doing today. It should be a good one. But before we get into that, we have a channel sponsor. Hang on, don't click off. Trust me, it's a small local company. I use them every single day. They're a huge supporter of the channel, and I just want to pass on to you guys. And I think every one of you guys is going to want this. And DE Speed Shop merch. There's probably a link in the description. All right, let's get to ripping this thing apart. All right, so all jokes aside, we've got this 71 Opel GT. Now, I had bought this June, maybe? I forget. And I've done absolutely very little to it. Originally, I bought it 'cause it's kind of a cool, solid car. The guy I bought it from was going to turn into a drift car. He had a 2JZ and stuff like that, which I didn't buy any of that junk. That's not my style. Brought it home. Danny kind of fell in love with it, which is cool. Summer happened. I bought the Biscayne. I bought a kit car. I bought a bazillion things. I still want to work on this, but I just don't know when. And unfortunately, it's not right now. Now, the only thing I have done, I bought a 80 something Thunderbird Turbo Coupe, which came with this, I think it's a 2.3 turbo with a 5-speed transmission, which doesn't fit. So I've learned that. I pulled all the wiring out of that Thunderbird. It's quite the wiring harness. They sell a wiring harness just like a standalone for this thing. And I gotta say, this car is actually in really nice shape, so I don't want to butcher it up. So I think we have to spend the money. It's like $500 for, I want to say it's Ron Davis, but I don't remember the name exactly. Wiring harness to have this thing run standalone, which is probably the way to go. I did have the motor running in the car. I took it for a ride around the block. Everything seemed to work. So that's all fine and good. I then got motivated when I pulled the motor. I was like, oh, let's slam this thing in, see where we're at, blah, 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 blah. I did some light measurements. I thought, oh, this is going to fit perfect. Well, it didn't fit perfect, and it's been sitting since. So a couple issues we have. The main one being a Opel problem. This is where the master cylinder and booster are, and it has a big rod that runs all the way up through here from the brake pedal head for some reason which escapes me. So that does not allow the intake to fit, and that's what we're hung up on. This motor's literally just sitting in here. I think we'll have enough room for the turbo on the other side, and hopefully we'll have enough room that it can sink down low. I'm not the first guy to do this swap. There's other guys who've done it on the internet. So if somebody else has done it that's way smarter than me, I can copy that. So the motor's going to come out for now, because I don't want to, the car is going to get pushed out. I got a bunch of other things I want to bring in this garage and do. So for today, we're going to pull this out and just kind of put it on, look at the organization. We'll put it on the ground and then go from there. Now, the other thing is, obviously, that's going to be really quick. That's going to be like a 30-second video. The next thing, once the motor's out, Dani wants to paint this thing. She doesn't seem to think that it looks good in red. It's all kind of faded and oxidized and all that stuff. I thought, yeah, I hear you. So I'm going to polish it. I want to see if I can give it a quick buff, shine up the wheels and tires, clean the glass, make it look kind of nice. I want to put the hood on, bolt hood on. It just sits on there, so get some bolts for it. Make it look like a complete car. Because, I mean, it is a complete car. It needs a motor and transmission, some brakes, that's running and driving. As I say that out loud, it makes me think I should probably just finish this car instead of taking on another project that needs way more work, but we don't want to overthink these things. So I'm hoping I can polish it up. I realize the polish probably won't last, especially once it sits outside in the snow and all that stuff, and I'll ruin the car and all those things, but at least she can get an idea of what it'll look like, because if I don't have to paint this thing, if she can just deal with it being red and I can dust in a few little spots here and there, that'll save me all sorts of time and money. Did I mention the shirts? Let's get set up. All right, so we're all hooked up. Unfortunately, this little car, these little tiny 13-inch wheels, well, I don't know, I guess you can't see, the crane does not fit under this thing at all. So we're off to the side, but who cares? We're just pulling it out, and it should be pretty easy. I do have it set so that the chain is definitely on the front side. So hopefully, I didn't go too much. I'm thinking I might have, because you need to have the thing kind of go nose high for sure. You know, I'm just gonna re-rig this real quick. Hang on. Okay, as I was saying, nose high, because as I remember, the transmission's quite long on this. So we have to kind of go out, water pump first. I'll get it high. I'll be able to just kind of sail it over, push the car away. With all this room we have. I did it before. We had the car up on stands and stuff. Oh, gentle. And the engine crane actually got stuck under the car. It's quite a hassle. So we'll have to figure that out. Is this thing stuck? What's going on here? Or is it just heavy? Huh. We may have ourselves a problem. Damn it. Well, we'll see what a few more pumps will do. Oh. Fiasco. Okay, I'm not really too sure what the deal is, but I'm thinking it just has to go forward. At least that makes me feel better. So I got the blue bar. The blue bar fixes lots. I wonder if it's just jammed in there, like it's settled in. What is going on? What could we possibly be jammed against? Well, unless the transmission's against the ground? It can tilt, but it won't come up. Why can it tilt but not come up? Transmission's definitely on the ground. But, well, that feels pretty rock solid there. What's this all about? Pump it. Okay, so the car is off the ground on this one side. What is... Huh. Oh. Starter's jammed against the frame rail on this side. What we can do about that? Whoops. Oh, this is tense. Man, this is some good watching. Oh. Stress. Okay, we're almost out though. It's jammed against the brake piece over here, which I can see. Or the intake manifold on the runner. That's super not convenient to pry on. Man. When did Ford come out with the mini starter? Because it obviously wasn't in '86. Oh, come on. Well, we'll hang it again. A little dangling never hurt nobody. Ooh. How can it be stuck that much? Okay, this is tense. Whoa. Nailed it. Man, I really know what I'm doing here. It has been like a week since I've put a motor in out, so good to think I'm not losing my touch. How are we doing here? Perfect. Sure. Gentle, gentle. Oh. Okay, so we gotta pull it out now. Whoops. Oh, this is where it... Stupid crane hits the car. Yeah, maybe it just needs a few more pumps. Whoa. Oh. Oh, something doesn't sound good there. Transmission, eh? All right. You're getting old blue too. Oh. Man. And a few more pumps. She's no happy. Whoa. Man. Oh, I shouldn't. I'm trying to protect the paint. Come on, Dan. I don't think we hit anything important. I think we're good. DD Hack Shop at its finest. It's definitely a snug fit. Okay. There's actually some stupid counterweight balancing in the back of the transmission, which I regret not taking off. Oh. Easy, easy. Okay. Oh. I should get Dani out here for a thumbnail real quick. Watching her see her car come apart, that'd be a good one. Hang on. Okay, so Dani's just out for the thumbnail. She's a little sad that the car is somehow coming apart. But, I mean, in my defense, I always finish everything I start. Right?
This is now the second motor that has been taken from one of my cars.
But, in my defense, this motor's not going in one of my cars. It's just not going to be in this car right now. We just need a bit of it. Put myself in a predicament.
Good.
Well, trying to get your car in. Forgot about the curvature of this garage. You know how I know the earth is round? This garage.
He might have just lost some subs.
Let's go ahead and store this away. Gingerly. At least it's got a nice spot, indoor heated. Indoor heated storage. I pay for that stuff. You're getting it for free. You drag that black box out of the way. Just pull it right out.
Oh, gross. Where is this going? What am I supposed to be filming? Ah.
It's a grade B camera. What we got going on there?
You get what you pay for. Wow, watch the hood.
Get what I pay for.
At least going down is easy.
Well, I do believe in gravity. She goes around nice. Look at that. Now this part is where I throw my back out right before your birthday dinner. Try and move it around.
That will not be an excuse to get out of seeing my parents.
Oh, shucks.
We can say that because they don't watch it.
Okay.
Oh God, be careful.
Lift with my back. Oh, it's tilty.
No, lift with your legs.
Is that what it is? Oh, turbo, that's right. Oh, man. I think we've got a small bit of shaving. You think with how oily the floor is, it would be a lot easier.
Your face is red.
It's heavy. Okay. Maybe that's where I'll live for a little bit. Until the camera's off, I'm not so embarrassed. Okay, on the next task. The camera will be off for this part. Alright, Danny's all over me. We gotta go out right away, but before we do that, I just want to see what this is going to look like for my own sanity. So I'll just give it a quick wipe down. I brought the high-speed buffer with the scratch and swirl remover polish, because I got a bunch of it left over from whatever I did last. Bisqueen, I guess. So we'll see how that stuff works. I have high hopes. Okay, let's just see. This stuff just smells good. I got a new pad. What the? Oh, the cap came off. Oh, that's embarrassing. We'll deal with that later. I got a brand new pad. So that's cool. Somebody told me I can cut this down with something. There's been water, I forget. These pads, when they're brand new, man, do they toss junk everywhere. So this sweater will be the polishing sweater. All right, let's see what happens. Oh, it's on maximum speed. Let's dial her back. Okay, well this part came up nice. Let's just see what the rest is. I don't want to go too crazy here and whatnot, but gotta kind of, wow, that came out nice. Gotta kind of learn the paint a little bit, because you gotta put a little bit of heat in it, but I don't want to catch an edge. So considering what we have here, I did pretty good. I'm gonna finish off this top bit if I can, and yeah, then we'll go out. Should be nice. Okay, well this seems to shine up pretty good. There's a little bit of overspray or something on it maybe. There's a few little spots, I don't know. I hit it again, I guess, but wow. I think she'll be happy if we can get her nice and shiny. There's definitely scratches and stuff all over the paint, but what does it look like on camera? Wow! Holy moly, she's shiny. I think we can get away with that. Pretty small car to polish as well, which is super nice. So I'll probably be back later on tonight, and we'll see if we can get roof done, tops of the doors, you know, make the top a little bit look good. And as we go down, we'll get lazy. Okay, well, it's actually the next day. So last night, Dani was talking about the Opel, and she's all upset. That's all coming apart. So I'm hoping I'll be able to surprise her. So I did do the other side of the roof real quick. There are spots, I don't know if it'll show up on camera or not. Little duller spots. There's big scratches. I mean, the paint's not going to be perfect. And I didn't get right up to the edges. But, man, that comes around nice. Yikes. So I'm hoping the car look like that. I got the hood on, kind of bolted on. Just really want to latch on it. We'll screw off that a little bit. But we'll do the back section first, I guess. This thing's so low to the ground, I might have to jack her up on stands to get down lower. My little rolly chair over here. But be a pile of polishing, pile of screwing around. Pretty simple process. Maybe I'll kind of show you what I'm going to do in the next little bit real quick. Then we'll time lapse it, and then hopefully we'll surprise her, and hopefully she'll like it. Because I'm hoping, worst case scenario, I do all this work to polish it, and she's still like, I don't like it, I want to paint it. That would be a waste of time. Okay, so step one would be kind of wash the car, but it's cold out. So we're going to Windex it. get all the junk off it. Obviously, if there's crap on the paint or whatever, and you start polishing it in, well, you're really working against yourself. The other thing is this wool pad. They're brand new. They really toss a lot of junk around. So get all that off. Oh man, the heater kicked on. That time of year, heater, not really stoked about it. So let's kind of get this little section off. Let's do the kind of upper quarter and half the, is it even called a deck lid if there's no trunk? Sail panel, tail panel? So get this all kind of cleaned up. Look at that. And this paint is dull because even when you wet it down, it still looks dull. That's crazy. Now the next thing, a little bit of goo on here. I like these high-speed bumpers. I was using those kind of random orbitals. Man, this works so much faster. Now the risk is burn through the paint. You don't want to do that. But really, you put it on there, crank her on to 11, just kind of work your way back and forth, and just, I don't put any pressure on it. I just let the weight of the machine do all the work. 57 people are going to tell me in the comments about how you put the cord over your shoulder. Oh, I just unplugged it. Okay, cord over the shoulder, as always. Kind of get this stuff mixed around there a little bit. There's probably another rhyme or reason how to do this. I just kind of wing it, crank it, and let the trigger lock do its thing. You know, it shows on my camera here, but all of a sudden, oh yeah, it's good. So the polish kind of starts to, I don't know, burn away, evaporate, get, you know, whatever it's doing. You start seeing the paint kind of starting to glow and come back. That's what you're trying to do. Now, if you go past this, it's getting hot. That's how you'll burn through the paint. So you want to be careful. Also, watch your edges. This will tear the hell out of that. Just kind of work it in. The paint comes right back to life. Okay, so I'll just kind of this little test piece. The edges are kind of tough to get. Just get all the junk off. There we go. We got kind of mostly a decent little panel. There's a spot right there. It needs more polishing. And then obviously the edges. But that's how it comes out. How's that turn out? Oh yeah, it looks fantastic. So that's planned for the rest of my afternoon. Okay, so the back of the car has come out really nice. The front of the car, it's got something on it that's just really not happy. Like you can kind of see it's got some sort of goo, and if you can, it comes off and whatever. So on the hood, I wet sanded and I polished it. Came out pretty decent. I'm happy with that ish. But then over here you can see how kind of gross it all is. The side comes out nice. So it's just the top. So the hood and the fenders, or you want to call it, that must have been out and got some overspray or something on it. So I'm gonna go change GoPro batteries real quick, and we're gonna wet sanding the front top of the car just real quick. I just have some 2000 grit, and so I was using Windex with a little bit of soap and a little Durablock, and make it look nice, get all the kind of junk off. You can kind of see it coming off, and then we'll polish it back up. We're making progress. Even for a little car, it's a bit of a hassle. But the fenders and the quarters and the doors came out really nice, and they go fast. They don't have to be perfect. Just makes it look like a shiny car. Man, it looks good on camera. I look like a wizard. Okay, so this is kind of, I just gave everything a quick wipe down. I switched to a bottle with water and dish soap in it. So we're just gonna go ahead and give this a good little once over. See how shiny the other side of the hood is. Came out really nice, and you can see on the fender how it's kind of blah. So get her nice and wet down there. And we're just gonna kind of do our thing. And you can immediately, it's hard to see on camera, I'm sure, but you can see the high and low spots where all that kind of junk is. And then the water kind of gets this gray, gross color. That's all the junk on the top of the paint. So we're just trying to take all that off. Nice smooth surface. We'll be set. So let me go on this. Try and use a set of flat block as much as you can. And then obviously on a circle, we'll go ahead and cheat. Just go by hand. Okay, so we got the one side wet sanded down. The other side's kind of polished. So we'll see what this side comes out like, and we can compare them side to side. If it was worth my all my time wet sanding. And I cleaned the pad. Well, there we go. So around these little louvers, a little tricky. Around the humps, a little tricky. And then this antenna, I might have accidentally given it a little bit of a little bend. It'll bend back. Okay. So nice and shiny. Definitely still some scratches. It needs a lot more work in it. But hey, we're just trying to impress Danielle and you guys on the internet. So I'll get this finished up real quick in the front. I'll gotta do that side of the hood again. Should be able to polish out the side. And then I went over the whole thing with this little random orbital. It just kind of gets all these little nooks and crannies, which if you get in there with the wool pad, it'll grab it pretty hard. Yeah, it's probably every time you polish, it makes the rest of it look terrible, just throwing all the junk on it. But in the end, it'll be a win. Well, what a pile of work. Now, it does look a little better on camera than in real life. Obviously, there's stuff like that I didn't get around to taking care of. And there's a few spots where I think I wet sanded and didn't quite polish enough. You can see it's not shiny, so it still needs a little bit of love. You know, sections of the roof, close to the windshield, all that. But you know what? You can't tell me if you saw that cruising down the road, you don't think, oh, that's a pretty nice looking car. Now, I didn't polish this section. I just wiped it down. Because when I showed Danielle, I want her to remember. And even this looks pretty nice. Because it's got some polish on the rag type thing. But, wow. This is a really sharp looking car. I always do this where, well, I'm done with it for now. I'll get back to it later. And then I spend like an hour or a day on it. And it comes out looking freaking fantastic. So, I'm going to go inside, have a little something to eat. And then come back. Man, does that look good. And then I'll come back out and show Dani what her car looks like. And hopefully she's not too upset that we pulled the motor out. And she can bear with me, because at least now it'll look nice outside. I want to show you something in the garage.
Okay.
Also, I told everyone I cleaned up the garage. I failed to mention I just moved all the stuff from the garage to the backyard.
What do you want to show me in the garage? I didn't know that this was happening.
Oh, you got to go to the garage. Next step is to be in the basement. Oh.
I'm going to be disappointed if it's not a present for me.
It is. Man, look at how fused. I used to have this all full of garbage.
Wow, yeah, I really showed them that dog poop.
That's not really my deal. You're gonna love it.
It's gonna be lame.
Yeah.
Wow!
See? Instead of having to paint the car, I just polished it.
That looks great!
I didn't do bun back section, so you can always remember what it did look like. It looks way deeper in real life than it is on the camera, at least the viewfinder.
Wow!
It kind of motivates me to work on it, unfortunately.
That looks so good!
So anyways, if you're interested in buying this, comment below, we'll give you a really good deal. It's cool though.
This is my car!
I'll start working on it. I've done all the hard work. It
You
needs
literally
another...
did the one thing I would have been able to do.
Well, unfortunately, Mur's not here. And it's a secret for you, so I did all the work myself like an idiot.
Oh, thank you.
But yeah, so that's where we're leaving it. Thanks for watching. Motor's staying there for a bit. We'll be back at it in a little bit. I think we're going to push this thing outside. We got a bunch of other things to work on. This garage is going to be needed right away for chopping and dicing up hot rods before the snow falls. Like, share, subscribe. Oh, and buy a t-shirt.